This is Divine Evolution, and I'm Chris O'Connor. Thank you so much for joining us today. I truly appreciate the time that you spend, each listen and each follow that you give us, or the subscription that you subscribe to with us. It means so much to each and every one of us. Thank you. Today, I would like to wing it in a way. I really wanted to record a podcast, but I didn't have a clear decision on an exact targeted topic. So I thought, let's just hit record and start to speak and invite my guides to join me and to come in and to help and see what comes of this. At least if anything does come of it, we'll find out. But thank you for your patience. And we do love you. I know I say that every episode, but I truly mean it. Because love is the one thing that we don't have enough of expressed in this world. Our daily lives are just so inundated, especially over the last year or so, with so much that can be considered negative and so much that can be considered to be of a detrimental nature to our psyche and even our physical health. Of course, all of that contributes to our spiritual health as well. The best advice I can give to you is what I do. I've always had friends in a very broad spectrum of ages, so I've had a very open mind to all types of generations. And I've heard a lot of complaints about after X generation people. It feels as if life is expected to give to millennials, apparently. I've never personally seen this. I can't say it does or does not exist. But in my experience, and then in my understanding on a spiritual level, I welcome the youngest of each generation. To me, it's so exciting that they're here. And the reason is multifold. And a primary portion of this is that I speak of evolution and I speak of reincarnation as going hand in hand in the individual's soul progression and then the racial progression as well. So an individual human as well as the entire race of human beings, all evolving. Many humans evolve much quicker and move on. Others evolve slowly and lag behind. But then the bulk of humanity is in a series and a phase of greater enlightenment right now. And why is it that there is a series and phase of greater enlightenment? I've spoken of densities and the 8 densities, and that we're in the 3rd density currently, and that the densities are levels of evolutionary experience for all life, microscopic to intelligent. And human beings are essentially in 3rd density as a large group. In fact, the Earth, because we're part of the Earth, we come from the Earth, is evolving as well. That evolution of the planet, along with the evolution of the beings on the surface of the planet, not to mention the evolutionary experience of the beings within the planet, all have an effect on the evolutionary experience that the planet has. And essentially what I'm saying is that humanity is slowing Earth from evolving. Although she's in 4th density, the Earth is a 4th density being, the very beginning of 4th density. What does 4th density mean? 4th density means, very simply, the photon is vibrating at a higher rate than it was in 3rd density. And what does that mean? Well, scientifically it means that if a higher vibration of any molecule or any structure creates densities of material that form differently, a planet giving birth to beings on its surface in 3rd density all come up within a 3rd density vibrational experience. And that includes the physical body and the mind. The soul can be very different depending on the individual incarnated soul. That individual soul could be from a higher vibrational rate, coming backwards, just as Jesus did, just as Buddha did, just as Allah, and a number, many individuals have done to help all of humankind to come and evolve from third to fourth density. Where we are at is a critical cusp right now. We're living on a fourth density planet as third density beings, but there are fourth density beings living on the planet as well. Now, those fourth density beings are thought forms. They are beings and creatures that we consider cryptids often, because they're more natural and connected to the earth, so they're coming up in fourth density. And human beings are beginning to come up in fourth density as well. This is the latest generation of human beings. And the people that are being born now and have been being born over the last decade or 2 or 3 are beings being born into the earliest phase, the earliest photonic vibrational increase of fourth density Earth. So there are differences. And though third density parents of fourth density beings are still third density people, their mindsets and their actions and their history are third density. So that's where the disparity is. Fourth density beings being born from third density beings have a significant vibrational difference and attitude and mindset and way of thinking. So this is the difference. And people see it in a negative way. I do not see it in a negative way in any way, shape, or form. It is wonderful. It's so good. It's so positive. It's what we need as an entire human race to continue evolving as an entire race, because we don't want to remain where we were. This whole COVID situation as a planet has changed humanity and humanity's thinking. It helped move those of third density human being mindsets into a more fourth density mindset. Now, what does that mean? A fourth density mindset is a mindset based more highly within spiritual structure, spiritual understanding, and spiritual desire. This is the very beginning of fourth density. Fourth density can last hundreds to thousands to many thousands of years. We on Earth are currently in this evolutionary switch from third to fourth density, right in the middle of the heat of it. We have to understand there's going to be a huge and ever-growing gap between third and fourth density, but also positive and negative. Because all beings are either oriented to be a positive individual, which is those who serve others, or a negative individual, which are those who serve the self and all things that advance the self. Those of other positive orientation, or those of a self-negative orientation. One is not better than the other. Historically, third density, old mindset humans have seen all things in black and white, and good and bad, and God and Satan. That's just not how it is anymore. Now, how can I say there's a disparity, a larger gap between positive and negative, but then also say there's really no difference? Well, it's in the intention and it's in the perspective of the individual that's looking into and viewing and accepting the situation. What does that mean? Before we can understand, we here on Earth, third/fourth density planet, all of the beings on the planet are either first, second, or third density. They're either material, base, animal, or intelligent life. What's after intelligent life? It's intelligent life wrapped in and understanding the lessons of love and how love as an actual element. Not just in love for one another, but love as the actual physiological matter that was the soul and consciousness of God the Creator. Fourth density is about learning that this is the case, that all things are love, good and bad. that the dark and the light are equal. They're both valid. And they're both part of God the Creator. They're both part of the soul of God and consciousness of God the Creator. So if it's all created from God, how can any of it be considered good or bad? It's simply in the dynamics. We can choose to do things that benefit ourselves, which is negative or bad, or we can choose to do things which benefit others, which is positive or good. That's as good as I can explain it, because that's the first concept that we have to understand as human beings that are evolving from third to fourth density. After we've entered the fourth density and we begin to understand we need to learn lessons of love and what that means and all the facets of love, we have to begin to understand, first off, that positive, negative doesn't exist. So this third and fourth density planet that we're on, we incarnate into it. We use this physical body, this meat bag, this water bag, simply as a vehicle for experiencing circumstances that will help us understand in a higher soul evolutionary level who God originally was and how to return back to Him. And returning to Him is a process of merging back into Him. Third, fourth density human beings have to understand that once we've entered fourth density, we can either be a positive person or a negative person in our actions and the totality of who we are. But then also understand that those are simply actions while we're incarnated here on earth. But then the next step beyond that is to understand that what earth is a construction, is a holographic projection from a series of very high order beings who have created this photonic holographic construct for us as an individual to experience and evolve and improve who we are, working ourselves toward God, step by step, lifetime by lifetime, density by density, one by one, merging back into God the Creator. And the only way to do that is through conflict. If we're complacent and we're happy and there's no conflict in life, there's no desire to change and no desire or vision of needing to improve oneself. If you're complacent and happy, not that that's a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing if we use it and become lazy and not continue to evolve as a soul. So conflict comes in. Conflict and catalysts for change. Conflict is a catalyst to change as an individual. And each experience gives us an opportunity to see two sides of a situation or to have an emotional experience that is positive or negative. It's more often negative than it is not. So that we have a drive to improve ourselves, that we see mystery, that we see things we don't understand and we want to go toward them to understand more and more and more. Here we are, emerging from third density into fourth density. It's an amazing time to be on planet Earth. And there are so many more aspects to this that we'll get into in the future. And that includes a cadre of experiences here on Earth. Because once you realize that we are individuals incarnating into an holographic experience created by high order beings, allowing us the opportunity for experience and personal soul evolution, then we begin to see that there are a great many other factions within this structure. I say factions meaning other beings, other societies, and other planets. And we will continue to get closer and closer and closer into this. This includes the supernatural, ghosts and hauntings and sightings by otherworldly beings, cryptid beings. They're all connected. And they're all part of our third and fourth density experience that we're having here on Earth. And this is where I really want to take everyone with me. Because it's a beautiful, beautiful understanding of the universe and why we're here. And I'm so excited So excited and happy to be able to share that with you. I love you, and we love you so much. And we want to evolve and learn and grow with each and every one of you. This has been Divine Evolution, and I'm Chris O'Connor. Until next time.